Hello, my brother.
Hello, hello.
Pura vida.
Pura vida, mai.
See, but so excited for having you here, having a beautiful chat. So thank you for taking this time.
Of course, my man. It's great to see you. I almost came shirtless because I knew you weren't gonna have one on, but I was like, man, let me rep elemental rhythm, let me bring some shirt to this combo.
Yes, yes, so dope, so dope. Okay, so I would love to start with some grounding activities right now. So I would love everyone to close our eyes for one moment and to take three deep breaths. So as you regulate your nervous system, connect with a memory of something that you're really grateful for. Maybe it's a family member or a good friend or something you achieved recently or something you healed. Connect with this deep feeling of gratitude and feel it in all your body. And as you connect with this deep feeling of gratitude, I would love to invite you to set an intention for our life today with Ben, learning more about the power of breath. Think with it for a moment. And whenever you're ready, you can start to move your body a little bit. And then open your eyes and let's start this live experience with Ben. My brother, welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for that exercise, man. This is the first live I dropped into where we like did that, and it feels so good. Hope
Mm,
everybody joining in got a chance to give that a try and just drop in, slow down.
yes. I think it's always great to do this every time we meet someone or every time we are doing an event or every time we are doing something where it requires presence.
Hmm.
I think this is a very important thing to do.
Yeah.
So I just want everyone here to know that why I decided you to be here on this live. So I've met Ben a few months ago here in Costa Rica in Nosara, and we created this bromance, this love to each other as brothers. And we both of us we joined the Elemental Rhythm Breathwork Facilitator. And actually, by the way, I will tell you, Ben, that I changed the idea about what we talked about. So we're gonna go a bit deeper later. And then yeah, brother, honestly, I never joined one of your classes, to be honest, on breath, but for me, seeing your presence and see you as you're always aware of your breath, and as you talk about breath, seems like you know pretty much a lot. And so I would love here to talk about the breath work, how it's changed your life, how this can have a positive impact for people. And yes, and then potentially at the end, you can guide a little breath work session for us.
For sure, for sure. Yeah. So first of all, thanks for having me on here. I'm excited to see that there's a bunch of people already joining in. So thank you guys for taking the time to chill with us, to learn with us, and grow with us. Um, yeah. So my breathwork journey started probably 3.5, 4 years ago. So all things considered, since breathwork's been around for like thousands and thousands of years, I'm new to the game still. But I've done a lot of research, I've practiced a lot, I've tried a bunch of different styles, um, and I've taught a lot as well. Um, and so I'm excited to share this here today. My breathwork journey started during my like personal development journey. I had dove into a lot of mindset work, was really big into affirmations and journaling, and just really trying to grow, be the best I could be. This was all the way back when I was in like corporate America, like doing some cool things, um, and it was helping me in a lot of ways. And so along that journey, I ran into meditation and started practicing meditation, and went on like a 10-day silent Vipassana meditation retreat, which was like life-changing for sure. Um, but a lot of times I noticed in meditation, I was just thinking. I was sitting still and it was great. And I was starting to tap into some of those different awarenesses, different states of consciousness, but there were only like glimpses of it. And I would achieve, some of that clear mind, like some of the time, but it almost felt like a struggle sometime. And then I ran into breath work and tried out a Wim Hof breath work session. And I immediately shifted from my head into my body. And this was around the time I was like, man, what's the one thing that's going to help me do all the things that I want to do, be this loving, kind person, be successful, be in a powerful relationship, all these things. And my answer was be present, be present. And so it was like, okay, how do I be present then? And meditation, like I said, kind of helped. But breath work was like, yo, I'm here now. I'm tapped into my whole body. I'm not just this head on a stick, so that was a super powerful first experience for me. And so I started practicing it daily, then started trying out different techniques as well. And then was like, hey, after like an ayahuasca retreat, we were doing the breathwork session on one of the days where we weren't sitting with ayahuasca, and I got this download like, hey, teach this, deliver it. Like, it's such a powerful tool for you, like share it, and share it in your own way. So that's exactly what I've been doing for the last like year and a half. I've been teaching with it. I got certified with Soma breath, which is a rhythmic breathing. They introduce a few different pranayama techniques in there, which for those of you that are new or unfamiliar, pranayama is like the ancient yogic practice of breath control and life force energy control. And so I got certified with that and been training in that. And I started getting into my own little style with breath work, where I use just music that most people listen to every day, all the different genres, hip hop, rock, alternative, indie, yogi, like meditation type music and tones. And I realized that like the music plays a huge role. So if you're enjoying the music and you're breathing along to the rhythm, there's just massive benefits available. And these benefits range anywhere from, mental health, emotional health, physical health. It's amplifying your vibration. So if you believe in like the law of attraction or the law of resonance, it's helping you to bring in these things into your life that are these higher frequencies that maybe you haven't accessed yet. And I know, Walter, you're big into, microdosing and plant medicine. And it's like plant medicine, a glimpse into plant medicine. But with you being able to turn on and off the switch of how deep you go, because you are in complete control of your breath the whole time. So that's a little bit about Yeah, I'm seeing somebody here, Crystal, saying this is great. My mind wanders so much in basic meditation. Yeah, and that's been the hugest thing for me. I experience a lot of anxiety. I know Walter, you mentioned that you can identify with that,
Yeah.
and really like this helps me to get out of my mind and into my body, which is the biggest shift that I've experienced. And with monks, they learn breath work before they learn meditation. They learn to check
Yeah.
in and tap into the breath. So I know
Mm.
that's a lot. Here we go.
Yes. No, but thank you. That's exactly perfect. And yeah, I used to do breathwork before, but just recently, as I've been doing it more consistently with Geo and being in Osara, like I really now am feeling what that means. So then I think that it takes practice, it takes consistency in a way to see those results, especially for someone like me that is like very active and very monkey mind, still doing the breath work, but still thinking about tomorrow and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So I feel with that. I had a similar experience like you about the breath work. We discussed this already. So I pumped into Sadhguru. He was doing this inner engineering, which you joined as well, I guess. And that's how I learned about breath work. And that for me was pretty powerful. And actually, what I liked about this program is that there was this sort of contract that you had to do it for like a month, for 2 times a week, a day,
Mm-hmm.
and then or 40 days or something like that, and then you have to do it like for 2 more months, once a day. So that then took me a practice, and I saw the benefits. And then yeah, pretty much went off, and then pretty much I stopped doing breath work. I don't know why, because yeah, I said microdosing is enough. It's like my mind was saying that, and I couldn't be wrong, because more wrong, because yeah, breath work is a practice that must be done more consistently, in my opinion. And then yeah, actually, I was telling you, I've been recently like helping Geo doing the classes, and for me, it's been one of the best experiences of my life, like doing that. So
Mm-hmm.
then I started to rethink about the idea, because as I was telling you, I said I might do the certification, then use it sometimes with clients. Don't want to be like fully there, but as I was experiencing that, I said, no way, I want to do this way more than I was thinking. So I
Awesome.
also, because I'm more in a place of service, and I'm more in a place where I'm sharing these beautiful gifts that we are learning here. So that's so dope, in my opinion, to be able to do that.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I feel you like when you were talking about the practice, there was something I disagreed with that with what you said, or is just different in my experience that
Hmm.
like for me it took like a consistent practice to start, but
Yeah.
then I got to a point now where it's like, when do I need it in my day? I
Mm.
recognize that like I can use it as a tool just for a minute or 3 minutes or 5 minutes. It doesn't need to be like an hour long
Mm.
session or hour and a half or 30 minutes or 45.
Yes.
And that's another thing that I really liked about it. It's like, whoa, our breath is that dial for our energy. Do we want to calm down? All right, let's slow our breath down. Let's extend our exhales. Let's breathe into our belly, right? If we want to get amped up, let's bring our breath into our chest where we have these receptors for our sympathetic, our fight and flight nervous system, right?
Hmm.
We can control our energy. And that's what it is. It's like a level of energy mastery just by using the breath. And
Mm.
I haven't dove too deep into microdosing. I've practiced it a few times and I've really enjoyed the experience. And one of the things I really love about the breath is just like, where are you? What are you doing? Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you have access to your breath. And then it's at that point, it's like there's no excuses. It's just a choice. Do I want to slow down? Do I want to speed up? Where do I want to go?
Hmm. Yeah, I honestly agree with that. I feel like there are some moments in life where we get more triggered, and where the nervous system gets activated, and then we can use the breath to come back to a balanced state.
Yep.
And that could be even 5 minutes of deep breaths, or even I would say, again, like if you're overthinking, or if you're like feeling too much anxiety, you just stop, just fuck, like it doesn't really take too much effort to
Yeah.
breathe. You can do it anywhere, right?
I'll jump in right now because there's this one thing that's coming up for me. The fastest way to slow down, to down regulate your nervous system out of the sympathetic fight flight into the parasympathetic rest and relax. It's called the physiological sigh. And so what it is a two-part breath. So the first part of your breath, and you can practice this with me, everybody on here can practice it. This is, like I said, the fastest way to calm down, to reduce anxiety, is starting off hand on the chest, hand on your belly, and breathing in through the nose. Fill your belly only to start. Once it's full, take a second sip into the chest, sharp, and then let go with a sigh. You can do that again. In through the nose, fill your belly. Quick sip into the chest, and let go with a sigh. And that's the fastest way. And you can do that a few times. You can do it one time, but it's just going to take you from up here, anxious, fast, out of control, down, calm, rest, flow. And I know you're big into flow states. This can just drop you in real quick. So I love that tip. That's from Andrew Huberman, who's a neurobiologist. I think that's his title at University of Stanford. So he's in there doing the research, and this is what they found.
Yeah. Honestly, I just did it, and I felt it, and it's so like for, let's say, what is your suggestion? Let's say, I must guess here some people here might struggle with anxiety or with this unregulated nervous system. So what would be like your first aid kit breathwork that you would suggest us to use in case of emergency?
Got you. So my favorite one, I don't really use the physiological sigh a lot. Some people might find it weird, like if I'm just like sighing in public, right? Or doing this. What I love is just extending my exhale. Relaxation is in the exhalation, the easiest rhyme to remember it. Relaxation is in the exhalation. So if you're extending your exhale just as long as you can is my go-to. So I literally breathe in through my nose. I'm always breathing in through my nose. And then to help me control the exhale, I'll breathe out like I'm blowing through a straw. As long as you can go, and then taking a nice, slow, relaxed, gentle breath back in through your nose. And I was actually practicing this technique this morning, and what I really enjoy is contracting my my abs, like I'm literally like pushing out that last little bit of air, like contracting those abs. And what that's also helping to do is it's letting all the old, stagnant, stuck air out of our system. And then on that next inhale, we're filling it with new, fresh air. And for us down in Costa Rica, that new, fresh air is like the essence of life. That's like the pura vida, pure life right there. So we're bringing in a whole new, everything's new. So not only are we on the exhales, we're activating that parasympathetic, that rest and relax state, versus on the inhale, we're activating our fight and flight nervous system. So we're just spending more time activating the rest and relax state. And it's as simple as that, so that's definitely my go-to for anybody feeling anxiety or out of control or like, just kind of lost. Slow things down. And I love the saying, slow down to the speed of wisdom, slow down to the speed of love.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like is what's happening when we take time to just exhale longer.
Yeah. I was thinking about that, but like, think about how powerful is the breath. Like, if the breath is so powerful that you don't need, any big medications or any even microdosing, I must guess, because that gives you this. And it's so powerful and it's so underrated. And it's like basically one of the classic things that like the answer is within you and is like already there.
Yes.
And we don't have to look for anything else. Every time we feel upset, every time we feel whatever, just taking the breath. And then at the end, I think it's so helpful, the breathing part, to manifest life. And this is why I believe, because the more present you are, the more can you choose the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, and then the actions and the messages you're sending to the universe.
Exactly. That's my belief.
Instead of going on autopilot on beliefs,
Exactly.
past beliefs. Because, I mean, let's be honest, for how much can be automatic and autopilot our mind, we can pretty much see our thoughts. And we can see when we are not being nice to ourselves, or when we start to feel scarcity, or we start to feel, not abundance.
Exactly.
So then it's good to breathe and come back to the state that we want to be.
Exactly. And what I've found in my own experience is like those times where I am feeling like anxious or out of control, or like really strong anger is coming up, really strong sadness, and it's like overwhelming. I know that for me, where I'm at in my journey, I don't want to be fully in that. I want to be with it and observe it and not judge it, but not let it take me over and let those emotions, those thoughts, those feelings run the show. Right. And that's the practice that I found. And what I found is that being in tune with my breath can help me bring my power back. And I was actually reading this book called Energy Healing. I forget the author's name, but there was a really powerful practice, and I've started to incorporate it in my day, in some of the breathwork classes that I teach. And it's about reclaiming your energy. And so what you're doing, you have your eyes closed, and we can do this. It's really quick. Closing your eyes and imagining, you have all these projects, all these relationships, all these things in life, all these moments in life where your energy is potentially right now. Maybe you're mad at somebody. Maybe you're thinking about a project that you're working on, or work, or whatever. Your energy is out there on those things. It's not with you, in you. So you can kind of imagine your energy scattered around like little stars, basically like a starry sky. And on every inhale, inviting those stars, inviting that energy back into your body. And then on the exhale, allowing those to settle and spread throughout your body. So we can do a couple more breaths here. Breathing in, inviting that energy back in through our nose, down into our lungs. And we're becoming a magnet for our own energy, spreading that energy on the exhale through our body. And one more of those, breathing in, filling the belly, inviting that energy back, and spreading that energy through our body. Go ahead and just feel what that feels like. Notice if you are able to feel that energy coming back. And then we can go ahead and open our eyes. And I'm curious for you, Walter, what that was like. What did you think about that experience?
So I think as you breathe and you become more present, it's gonna be easier than to get this the skill of visualization, which is, once again, is so underrated, because at the end everything in life is been starting from that, and then becomes reality, regardless of manifestation or not. But if we are not able to visualize it, we're not able to manifest it. So I think gives you more clarity in the visualization and feeling it with the breath. And I would say the same thing would be with the affirmations. When we choose to say specific affirmations on ourselves in combination with this, would be even the next level.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're learning in Elemental. That's what I learned in Soma Breath, right? It's like you do the breath work to get to this state of openness, to get to this state of, let me open up my third eye and be able to visualize these things. And then let me introduce these mantras so that I can absorb them into my subconscious. Because when we get to these different states in a breathwork session, for a lot of different styles of breathwork, our subconscious mind is very malleable. We can change things. We can let go of things. We can invite new things in and reprogram ourselves in those states. So yeah, exactly what you're saying is like part of a powerful breathwork experience.
Yeah. So dope. I love it. And honestly, Ben, I would love to know more about, if you can talk and tell us more about Soma Breath. What is it? How does it work? And how do you think can be different from other types of breathworks?
Yeah. So actually, as you were talking before, you know, you mentioned this idea of like uh, of plant medicine, of microdosing, and uh, and like what it's like with our breath is like, no, we have everything here. Well, soma, the name soma breath comes from this idea of like this legend, if you will, of this group of people, and I forget the group of people's name, but they it's an ancient civilization, and they were really tapping into the power of plant medicine. They were using it consistently, they were tapping into it and growing a lot, benefiting a lot from these medicines. And then one day, whether it was their god or the universe or whatever, it came and took the plant medicines away. The plants were no longer able to grow where they were. So they were like, what are we going to do now? You know, and so they start exploring all these different ways of how can we reach those states of consciousness so we can tap into God, the universe, we can tap into that infinite wisdom that exists there. And they found the breath. These different rhythms of breathing could bring them back to that state, and they called it I believe they called this molecule, like the air molecule, basically soma, and that's how the name about that. Here we are. So soma breath is rhythmic breathing using ancient pranayamic techniques. Specifically, Savitri pranayama is rhythmic breathing. So just breathing to a consistent rhythm to get us into these trance-like states, these altered states of consciousness. A lot of the music, soma breath is big into music production, so they have a bunch of different songs and different rhythms that you can breathe to. And there are a lot of like those like tribal dance, um, uh, meditative tone type, you know, stuff that most yogis listen to and are used to. So I really really like that aspect of soma as well. I think those are inviting to get you to these altered states. And the guy who founded it, his name is Niraj Naik, and he's a music producer as well as a breathwork facilitator. He created what he calls tripneural beats versus binaural beats. So it brings in a third wave. I'm actually not too familiar with how that works, but same sort of thing as binaural. It's helped the music itself is helping to tune us to these different frequency states in our body, which is helping us reprogram and things like that. So after you do like a round of rhythmic breathing, you might be doing a in for 4 count, out for 8 count. So like we talked about earlier, extending the exhale to down regulate our nervous system, to relax us and calm us, to open us up in that relaxed state. And once you reach that kind of ground level of like, okay, I was moving really fast before this, now I've relaxed, then we'll go into like a flow breath, and that'll be in for 4, out for 4. So really gentle. Soma breath isn't as adrenaline or energizing. I don't want to say it's not as energizing, because you do feel energized at the end. Most people do anyways. But it's not as like hardcore masculine energy as like a Wim Hof or even an elemental rhythm. I feel like we really go fast and it's all about like energizing yourself up. Soma is more of a gentle flow into those states. And then sometimes we'll speed things up to kind of, once you find that flow in that groove, to just turn the dial up a little bit. And then we'll do longer exhalation holds, like a Wim Hof. We'll exhale our breath fully, hold our breath for as long as you can. And during these states is when you access those like deep meditative states. Everything's still for the most part, unless something's wanting you to move and release a traumatic event, which I've certainly experienced before in these meditative states. And we're just, you know, really vibing at that point. That's when the facilitator can drop in different affirmations, especially if they know what your intention is of the session. So it's really helping to reprogram at that point. And then we'll repeat that for as many rounds as we're there for. You know, it could be a 20-minute session, which Soma Breath calls their daily doses. Or you can drop into those deeper awakening journeys, they call them in Soma, where you're there for like 45 minutes to an hour and you're really going deep to release, to manifest, to reprogram. Um, yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much Soma.
Yes. So I have a question. So you said you start with the first part, which is like in for 4 and out for 8. Then there's a second part, which is in for 4 and out for 4. And then there's, you said all out and then you hold, or all in and you hold.
We'll do an exhale hold. So you go out
You exhale and then you hold as much as you can, or it's like an amount of
as
time.
much as you can.
And then you come back with the same again, in for 4 and out for 8
Yeah,
immediately.
so each round's kind of different. We're not necessarily in elemental rhythm, right? We'll do earth breath, which is like long exhales and inhales. Then we'll do water, which is in for 2, out for 2, air, in for 1, out for 1, and fire as fast as you can in one song. In Soma breath, you'll stay in the rhythm for the whole song. So we might for 5, 6, maybe even 7 minutes be breathing for in for 4, out for 8. And that's what it's doing, is it's getting us into that rhythm, that specific rhythm
Okay.
of that breath. Versus elemental, like you're getting faster and faster, faster. It's building up your energy faster and faster, faster. Then you hold, recover, and then build up again. Elemental really wants to take you on that blast off, is my experience. And same with the Wim Hof. He's like, it's faster, it's more energizing. And I think a lot of people really like that, especially newcomers to breathwork, because they're like, shit, that just slapped me in the face. And now I know the power of breathwork. Soma breath is going to get you there gently, right? You're still going to be like, holy shit, I love breath work. This is amazing. But it's not
Mm-hmm.
as in your face masculine energy. I feel like it's a great balance between feminine energy and a masculine energy breathwork approach.
Mm.
So after you do a whole song of 4 to the 8, then the next song might be 4 to the 4, right? And then we might do another song of 4 to the 4. And then we might go 2 to the 2 to just turn things up right at the end for your final meditation.
Mm.
Yeah,
So then after each song, you hold the breath all out,
exactly.
and then you go with the 4 and 4, and then the 4 and 8. It's always the same process, or does it change? Like the summer breath is this, and this is
Soma
the
breath,
method.
no, Soma breath actually changes.
Okay.
It really depends on the session's intention, right? If a group comes in, they're like, hey, we want to ground and calm, then the songs are going to be slow, the rhythms are going to be slow. And what that teaches people is like, okay, if I want to calm down, slow my breath, change the rhythm to an extended exhale, right? In for
Mm-hmm.
4, out for 8, double the amount that we're exhaling than we're inhaling. If
Yeah.
they want to blast off, we might just jump right into in for 4, out for 4 at a faster pace or medium pace, and then go into a 2 for 2, a 1 for 1. So Savitri Pranayama, to my understanding, is just rhythmic breathing. And that rhythm can change, right? Depending on what you want. But that
Mm.
rhythm is what puts your body into those different altered states of consciousness, just like different tribes and ancient civilizations used music and those rhythms to put us into trance state. This is using the rhythm of the breath.
Yeah. Yeah. The drums a lot. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow, it's so powerful. Like, can you believe, like, maybe a few years ago, I would have said, yeah, uh, microdosing is like way better than breath work. I'm not gonna do that. And now I can tell you, like, breath work, I think is, I think that the key for everything. I think if you have to choose something, we would put breath work
Well,
first.
I
I mean,
mean,
even me find
that's
that.
for me too. Yeah, and one reason why is like during an intense plant medicine ceremony, I haven't had too much experience with it,
Mm,
right? But I knew for me, coming back to my breath is what got me through those hard times.
fuck yes,
I
fuck
needed to
yes,
come back to the
yes.
breath. So if the breath is
Mm-hmm.
guiding me through a plant ceremony, then I'm choosing like to learn breath over
Yes.
microdosing for me, because it's going to help me during that. And it's going to help
Yeah.
me during a meditation, because what does every meditation bring you back to? Not every, but a lot of them bring you back to the breath,
Mm.
you know? So it's like, and that's what monks learn before they learn meditation, is the breath. So it's like the breath is the foundation. It's the first thing we do when we come into this life, and it's the last thing we do when we leave.
Mm-mm.
We take a breath.
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting you're telling me this. I mean, now, so actually, like, I went to this retreat a few weeks ago, and we did basically plant medicine with psilocybin, and but I was basically doing breath work all the time. I mean, pretty much like a soma. Like I was like breathing really slowly and nicely all the time. It's like it's like I know what is gonna happen now, so I'm gonna breathe deeply. And
Yes.
I think I enhanced so much my experience just with that because I literally did like deep breaths like the whole ceremony.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? And the
Yeah.
same thing happened with when I did combo. So I did combo, and same thing. I was going back to the breath, and I was breathing all the way deeply and slowly. So I pretty much think like with these two experiences with the psilocybin and the combo, I reprogrammed my mind how powerful is the breath,
Yeah.
pretty much. So now let's say I might not need them, but now I know like without breath, like all of those things might not be as effective.
I mean, that's been my experience. That's been my experience. And I really feel like if you master your breath, you master your life, you master your energy. Um,
Mm-mm.
Inspiration, spirit is like the Latin word for breath, you know, like these, so many of these words have their root in breath. I also
Yeah.
wanted to check in, Malakasam, uh, 736. What if I've had a bad past effect on my attitude with people, like I can't trust again or believe in love? So how can I overcome that? Please help. um, I'd love to both take a dive at this because this seems like a powerful question, a real question. Like for me, I mentioned this a little bit earlier. I don't know if you were on the call or not, but in those parts of me that don't want to trust or have been hurt or have been abandoned by myself or by others, everything that we're talking about in the breath has allowed me to go into those spaces and rebuild those relationships with those parts of myself that are hurt, that have trouble trusting, that are really sad or really angry, feel lonely or abandoned. I've been doing a lot of parts work, right? And there's this therapeutic modality called internal family systems. And I've been working on that. I've been working on that with my partner as well. We go in, and what the breath allows me to do is allows me to be present with that part of me that's hurt or can't trust, and to have a compassionate conversation with it, you know. And it might sound weird if you haven't done this, like, wait, I'm talking to another part of myself, is that like schizophrenia or something like that? I had the same concerns, and what I've realized is it's not. It's normal. It's powerful. We all have those different voices in our heads that talk to us, and like the devil and the angel. You know, the devil is just misunderstood and is hurt in a lot of ways. It maybe was neglected. It maybe was abandoned. Right? We get to go in and rebuild those relationships. And a lot of time, having a coach or a therapist that's tuned in with these modalities or well practiced in these modalities can really help with that. And I've realized that after being introduced with a coach and with a therapist to those modalities, I can now go in on a daily basis, connect with my breath so that I can be grounded and centered and know where my truth lies, right? And then from that place of truth and authenticity of love and compassion and light, I can go and connect with that part that's hurting and welcome it back to the team, because we don't want to kick those parts out. You know, I've been confused about that idea of letting go. Like, yes, letting go of what no longer serves me, but also reintegrating those parts that do serve me, that I've left out stranded and that are like dirty, looking like Oliver Twist, you know, like they've just been through a chimney, you know, just like neglected. Um, and the breath has given me a powerful ability to stay tuned in with myself during those communications.
Yes. Yes. I I feel you with this. And once again, the power of breath has to be acknowledged. And I would love if they would bring it in school or in companies, in at work. You know, like I think every hour or so, like we should take like 2 minutes to breathe. Like this, like automatically. Like if you're
Yo,
not doing it normally, like fucking do this every hour or so.
100%. And this is my vision for that, Walter. And this is my vision for everybody here on there. If we're at work, all of us, I know that's bold, listen to music at some point during work. What we've been talking about this whole entire call is these different styles of breath work is rhythmic breathing. Elemental rhythm uses rhythmic breathing. Soma breath uses rhythmic breathing. We talked about the benefits of all the different types of rhythms, extending the exhale, breathing faster, these sorts of things. You can just take the songs that you're already listening to at work and breathe to them. Find your rhythm, whatever it is, right? If you feel like I want to relax, we'll throw on some slow jams and extend your exhale. And I guarantee you'll feel relaxed after that 3-minute song, that 4-minute song. And that's the best part. It's one song. And you're probably already listening to music anyways. I know so many people that jam with their earbuds in at the desk or at home or wherever. You know, if you're a delivery person, you're jamming in the car. You know, if you're a construction worker, you guys have music on. You know, breathe with it. And it's just going to amplify your experience and bring you into the present where the music is. The music's happening here and now. That's the best place for you to be aligned and centered. So breathe to it and just amplify that experience.
Yes, yes, yes. So good. Ben, really, thank you so much. I would love if you could, guide us for a short breathwork experience with the Soma for the one listening right now. And what do you think?
100%. What I'm doing is I'm going to put some music on
See,
because we've been talking about it. It's all about the music, everybody. Welcome to my crib, first of all. Taking you back to the studio. And here we go. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable while I'm setting up here. And oh, I already know the song that we're going to breathe to too. All right, you guys. So make yourselves comfortable. Sit up straight. You can hear me okay? I'm going to try this music out. Can you hear that? Okay. So we're going to start with that in for 4, out for 8. So go ahead and exhale fully. Let's go in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, out. In through the nose, filling your belly, and out. In, out. In,
Steady the breath, steady the mind. Keep breathing till I feel that light shine. Breathe
in,
deep
out. Letting go.
Steady the breath, steady the mind.
In through the nose, filling the belly, out through the mouth.
Deep
5,
breath.
6, 7. In, out. In, out.
Everything in life revolves around the one. Floating like the planets in our solar system.
In,
Deep breath, fill up my lungs. Draw the line back for the central sun. Breathe deep. Deep breath.
in,
Inhale, exhale. To release the stress.
in, out. In,
Breathe
out.
I let it seep into my skin.
Beautiful.
Absorbing the force as it begins to spin. My
In,
mind turning back toward the one. 360-degree revolution. Breathing.
go ahead and breathe in fully, filling your belly, filling your chest, filling your head,
To release the stress.
holding your breath,
Deep breath.
squeezing your muscles, and then letting go all the way, holding your breath on the exhale for as long as you can.
Choose complication over stimulation.
Feeling into the body,
We need to ease the stress of the situation.
noticing the sensations, the feelings that are present for
With
you.
steady concentration.
return to normal breathing whenever you need, extending that exhale as long as you can.
Steady the breath, steady the mind. Take a 5 count breath, let it rise up. Keep breathing, let it rise up. Deep breath, y'all. Deep breath.
Beautiful. Taking your time coming back to the space. That was a 3-minute song. Noticing if there's anything new for you. It's kind of fast paced, but we're still extending the exhale, which is helping us to relax and find energy because of the pace that we're breathing at. So, Walter, whenever you're ready, just love to hear from you, your experience, your thoughts.
I feel even more grounded than I was. So I think it's a really grounded activity for me. And I think with the music, again, with the lyrics and the sounds, I think gives you that extra motivation, that extra energy, that extra reprogramming the mind, which I think is super dope. Like the music is magic. Like the music is alchemy.
Yeah.
With the breath and with an intention and with groundness, I think, it's so freaking powerful.
I
So
agree. And the rhythm, the music is like, it's already medicine. It's already powerful. So you're just pairing two of the most powerful tools humanity has ever known for altered states of consciousness, for manifestation, for spiritual connections, for mental health. Like,
yeah.
you're just pairing two of them together. And it makes it fun. I think it's called breath work because when you show up to one of those hour-long sessions or even a 20-30-minute session, it's work. You have to consciously choose, like, hey, I'm going to breathe in and out with this intensity or with this rhythm every time. And I had this remembrance last night as I was guiding a session that even though it's work, right? Even though you're working a job or you're doing a breath work, right? You can still enjoy it. And breathing with music makes it enjoyable. Breathing with a smile and the intention of fun amidst the work makes it enjoyable. And then imagine bringing that energy to you as you're at your actual job, or if you're an entrepreneur, as you're creating. Yes, I'm working, but I'm enjoying it as I do it. And that's why I just encourage people here with, like, if you go into a breath work and you want to try it, or if you're super practiced with it, see if you can bring in that enjoyment, bring in that smile with you, even amidst the shadow work that can happen in a breath work session, or the discomfort that can happen, and just like, what a beautiful way to live life.
Yes. Well, Ben, it's been such a journey and a pleasure, like, having you here. I would love to know if you have any last message or any downloads that you would like to share with us before we wrap up.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just say you guys are always welcome to come join me on my Instagram page. Definitely follow to tune in. I like sharing things, breathwork related, life related, as well as my YouTube channel. I have songs already on there, from hip hop to R&B to rock and reggae, all different styles of breathwork tracks on there, and popular music that you guys know, as well as some longer journeys that you can just have on demand for free whenever you want, with all different types of intentions and benefits. So that's at Bend the Bridge as well on YouTube. And I also host a free live breathwork session every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. So you guys are more than welcome to hop on Zoom. That's where we like to connect as a community, share our experiences, just experience the collective energy of a breathwork session, which definitely elevates the experience, as well as answer any questions that you guys have or any feedback. So would love to have you there. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to access all of that. But lastly, I'll just say thank you guys, especially I see there's 7 people on here. These 7 have been like steady since the get-go. Everybody that joined this, thank you, appreciate you, and Walter as well. I appreciate the invitation and the space to share my passion, my gifts, and to connect, brother. So thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. It's been a pleasure. And again, once again, guys, make sure you give a follow to Ban the Bridge. And if you have any question to ask him about the summer breath and breathwork itself, he's the man. And yes, my brother, let's keep in touch. I'm sure we're gonna meet at some point here in Asara. And yes, thank you for taking your time and sharing with us your superpowers. And yes, sending so much love to everyone, love, wisdom, and creativity. And yes, so much love.
Yes.
Ciao, ciao.
Love, love, everybody. Thank you. Peace.
You're welcome.